Hi, I'm Nicole Rivera, and this is the Rivera Family Homeschooling Vlog. Today I'm going to talk about why our family, we have decided to join Classical Conversations and embrace the classical model of homeschooling, why we are switching from the past 2 years doing the good and the beautiful. Today we're just going to talk about math, but we are switching all of the good and the beautiful to a different curriculum to raise arithmetic. So I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see these as I talk about them, and I can explain to you why we've made this shift when we've been doing the good and the beautiful for 2 years, level K and level 1. Oh, and we have 3 boys, one who's currently being homeschooled, the other one that's in preschool. He's being homeschooled preschool, but it's not official registered homeschool, and then a baby. So I'm going to turn the camera and show you what these look like. Okay, I'm going to start with the good and the beautiful. This is level K. This is what we started with. I started with this. It came highly recommended from a few of my friends. I started with this approach because it's very open and go. If you're just getting ready to homeschool and you're like, oh my goodness, all this stuff is completely overwhelming. I just need to know what to do and while I figure out what I like. This was wonderful to do that. I don't have any complaints about that. We got through this just fine. By the end of it, I did want to switch to something else, but we were going to be having our third born, and so I continued on with the good and beautiful because I didn't want the stress of trying to figure out a new system while also having a baby. So that's why we did this for 2 years rather than just the 1 year. It's great if you're new to homeschooling and you just need open and go, hold your hand. It's pretty, the kids like it. It gets them engaged and wanting to do school. It has lots of games. It comes with this box of toys that my kids still love to play with. And they have the cars, which my boys love, and the people. And I'll probably even use some of these in our new math because they're just so much fun. Because Raise has a lot of games associated with it. It's very oral and less writing, which is one of the reasons I'm switching to it, because my children are very young, especially my son that's actually being homeschooled right now, like registered official homeschooling, and I think he would do much better with less actual writing, which the good and the beautiful is a very heavy amount of writing. So I'll show you that in a minute. So even for just level K, he had to do, and he wasn't really the best writer at the time. I hadn't really worked with handwriting with him because he was never interested in it, but it had a lot of writing. Some of the writing I just did for him. So this was all, some of it is not as much in the beginning, but for him at this stage, this was a lot, especially by the end. And when you see level 1, it is a lot of writing answers. So this is level K. Less writing, much less writing than level 1, but still it was too much for us at that time. This is the level 1 math box that comes with the curriculum. They study time, so you get this really cool clock. You have to be careful that they don't break it because they do bend very easily. My son loved these, where you can this is magnetic and it's a whiteboard, and you copy shapes and do these things in different lessons. They learn money, so they give you the pretend money. Oh, this is breaking off. There's boats. I am missing some. Oh, there's some that you use for different games. There's clocks that you use when they're learning to tell time, and then you have these dice that they use. And this one has left, right, left, because they're learning their lefts and rights. So it's the math boxes are so much fun. It's one of the things I'm gonna miss the most, but Raise has a ton of games, so I don't think we're gonna miss this too much. Okay, and then just to show you, this is the level 1 math, the current level 1 math. We were also using the language arts. I'll show that in another video, but we were using the old language arts, not the new one. They've updated it. So this is, for him, this was a lot of writing. So a little bit too too much. He would get very exhausted, and I would have to write some things for him because he would give me the oral answers. One thing I love about Raise, which I'm going to bring out right now, is that it is at this stage oral, almost 100% oral and playful and tactile. There is a book called The 3 R's, which I have, and I can go pick up and show you. That Ruth Beechick, who writes the parent-teacher guide for Raise and walks you through exactly, I would not do Raise without this. She lays out the whole lesson plans for you and what to do and ideas and games in it. Highly recommend if you're gonna do Raise to do this, because I tried to do Raise before unsuccessfully without this, and now that I have this, I'm like, wow, I was doing this completely wrong. And that's why I believe we were unsuccessful. But she gives you all the lesson plans and evaluations to see how your child's doing week by week. Each lesson in this book is not a day, it is a week lesson. One of the reasons we're switching from the Good and the Beautiful to Raise is Good and the Beautiful is a spiral approach, which I don't like, and I don't feel worked for us very well. Even though my son did learn and grow with this, there's holes, and he hasn't mastered things that maybe he should have. Raise is a complete mastery. You master and you build, just like you build a building. You lay a firm foundation, then you build the next part and the next part. You don't lay the foundation and then build the roof and then come back and do, the walls. And there's a systematic approach to it that keeps the structure up. That's my explanation of the difference between spiral and mastery. So I'm starting with Raise New Primary Arithmetics. Raise New Primary Arithmetic is for 1st and 2nd grade. Honestly, you could probably even do some of these lessons you're going to do in preschool because it's counting. But my son can do a lot of these in the 1st grade level, but because I feel like he has holes from the spiral method, I am starting him at the beginning with counting to 10, which he has already more than mastered, so that we don't get holes by skipping. Because I did watch one homeschool mom's video, she switched to this and she skipped some stuff, and then she said it was much harder once they got to other levels because she felt like they didn't lay the firm foundation that this lays. So one thing I'm going to do to make it interesting for my son is to he's never learned how to properly use an abacus. So instead of just making him count to 10, which is going to be boring for him, and count objects to 10 for a week, that's going to be super boring for him and he's not going to like it. We are going to learn how to use an abacus, and we are going to play games. And we're going to include his little brother who already knows how to count to 10 because he'll have more fun that way. And yeah, we're going to go through this. We probably will get through more than just level 1. So level 1 or 1st grade, you cover very, very thoroughly counting to 100. Also, I want to teach him Roman numerals because that'll be something new and exciting for him that will add some flavor to the lessons when he's going through the super easy ones for him. So, and they are all, you'll see oral exercises, they are all oral. They are not meant to be written. The parent teacher guide will have you write just a few things, but it's very, very minimal handwriting. And I've actually made my son a daily worksheet that once I have it printed out and perfected and printed out, I will do a video on. Of the one worksheet a day he's going to fill out with all his 3 R's for the day, and that's it. That is all the written work he is going to do that day. Because I feel at his age, he is 6, he is 1st grade, that it's more important for him to be outside and exploring and gaining wisdom about the world around him than sitting inside doing worksheets. So we are doing our whole daily 3 R's should only take us about 30-45 minutes if he's really interested and wants to do more. So this is lesson 7. And it says, note, these exercises are intended for use with the numeral frame or with counters of some kind. So Ruth Beechick explains in her book, The 3 R's, which you can get from Mott Media or Christian Book, or I think it's even on Amazon. that there are 3 stages of learning in arithmetic. Manipulative stage, and then the mental stage, and then the abstract stage. So at this stage, they're in the manipulative stage. It helps them to have tactile things to do their math with. Versus, she's like, don't even worry about the plus signs, the minus signs, the equal signs. That'll come later. Master the actual addition and like being able to do it with the objects. So I'm not even going to show this page to my son. I'm going to ask him, how many counters do we have here? He'll answer 1. Done. He did that. He doesn't need to write it. How many are 1 and 1? 1 taken away from 2 leaves how many? So it teaches, you are exploring and learning the number, addition, subtraction. There's going to be some multiplication and division without calling it those things and putting that kind of pressure on it. You're just playing with numbers and they are learning these concepts even though you're actually not officially teaching multiplication and division. So first grade covers all these oral, they cover the addition section, which is very thorough. It's a mastery. So you are going to drill these and drill these and drill these, and you can do them in fun ways. The parent teacher book includes in the back all kinds of game ideas. And even if I don't use these, they've spurred other game ideas that I have that I want to use with my boys. So, and then it gets through, you also get through subtraction with them too. And then in second grade, they start the multiplication and division part of the book. And look how thin this is. I know it may seem like, oh, how am I going to actually utilize this for a whole year? Each book each level or year of school is 36 lessons out of this book. So that's 2 school years. 36 lessons is 180 days. That's 2 school years. And look how tiny. It's not clunky. If we want to go to the park and do math, we can go to the park and do math. All I have to take this and my parent teacher guide, or if I've already reviewed this and know what we're doing for the day, because it's very simply laid out, all I need to bring is this. I have the answer key also because I'm hoping, well, I don't think I'll need the answer key for these easy problems right now, but this covers more levels. Ray's Arithmetic has, so the next book would be the Intellectual Arithmetic, which is 3rd and 4th grade, Practical Arithmetic, 5th and 6th, and then Higher Arithmetic would be 7th and 8th grade. And these are all available through Mott Media, and they're on Christian Book, and I believe they're also on Amazon, but I think they're cheaper on Christian Book. I think that's the least expensive place to buy these, unless you can find a used set on like Thrift Books or Abe or somewhere like that, or OfferUp. I found some things on OfferUp. But this is what we're going to do next year. We are switching. Not that the Good and Beautiful is a bad program. It fit our need when we needed it. It got me through 2 years. The first year we did it, he was technically preschool, but he was asking for doing school, and he's the first, so we're extra eager with the first. And then we got through that fine, and then he was officially registered for homeschool, and I felt the pressure of, wow, now we really have to do school and get it done. We are being held accountable about this. And I have the stress of, in a couple months after starting school, I was going to have a third born. What's that going to look like? I need a program that my husband or my mom or somebody can come over and easily just open and continue with him. That's why we stuck with this. It fit our need. It definitely fit our need, and we were very thankful for it. However, this is not what I want to do long term. I am not a workbook person. My husband is very much a workbook person, so he loves this stuff. This just makes me, I'm happy that it's pretty. Let's put it that way. I'm not really a workbook person per se. I'm happy that my son actually liked it. I don't think it would be a big deal for him to continue with this, but I did not like it. And if mama's not happy with the homeschool, nobody's gonna be happy. So that's why we're switching. And I also, look how clunky this is to try and take to the park if we're gonna do school at the park. It's clunky. It's heavy. I need light and easy to carry with me. And this is not light. I don't like to do school at home all the time. Yes, and I also don't like the spiral approach. I prefer mastery. That's how I learned, and I feel like it's a better foundation. So that is why we are switching from the Good and the Beautiful to Raise. I'm really hoping this curriculum works out, because another thing I like about it is non-consumable, which means you can use it for every single child and not have to buy it again. Homeschooling 3 children, once they're all up and running, that's expensive. I like the fact that we can just hand this down from child to child and not have to rebuy curriculum every year. I don't want to do that. And I'm hoping I don't have to. I'm hoping that it fits our need for at least through 8th grade. We are part of CC, so eventually we'll have to switch to Saxon, I believe. But for right now, this is what we want to do, and I feel like it fits well with our family's goals and what we want our homeschool to look like. We want our homeschool to be effective, but simple, and not take up our whole day. I want my kids to be able to explore what they are interested in and just learn about the world around them and be outside as much as possible. So, and I'm going to talk more about that and why that affects how we schedule our year and everything in upcoming videos. If you want to see the curriculum unboxing of this and what else we got in that curriculum unboxing, you can click on the link below that I'm going to put in the description. This is a brand new homeschooling channel. I'm hoping to be able to share what I've learned over the past few years. We actually started researching homeschooling before we had kids because we knew we wanted to do this. So I feel like I've been doing this longer than I actually have. Our kids have never been in school. They have always been home from birth. And yes, this is our passion. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.